Hi, this is Elizabeth Griffin, your indie author from South Philadelphia, and it is January the 9th. We are 9 days into the new year, and I'm very excited about that. So today I wanted to take a moment and talk about ebook publishing. I've been avoiding this topic because I feel that I won't do it the justice it deserves in such a short video, but I'm going to attempt to do it anyway. So when I format my ebooks, I use Word document. And what I do is I use a 2-inch margin as my parameter. So that's 2 inches at the top, 2 inches on both sides, and 2 inches at the bottom. And then I include my document within those 2 inches. So what you need in ebook, when you format your ebook, is to have a working table of contents. And a working table of contents will allow the reader to go from the table of contents to a particular chapter and then back to the table of contents. In the table of contents, you can also list your bio information. So that's all the information about you as an author. And you can leave your contact information, how they can reach you, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever your social media outlets are. You can also include your website in your bio, and that allows the reader to follow you. You can also include a catalog of all your published work, and that is very helpful so that when the reader reads the first book and they like it, if they want other books by you, they don't have to search, it's at their fingertips. So the table of contents is wonderful. You can also include a dedication page, an acknowledgement page, and whatever. You can tailor the table of contents to suit you and your creativity and what information you want to provide to your readers. So once you set up a functioning table of contents, you can begin typing your text. And what I usually do is I'll create an ebook template, which will include a functioning table of contents, and it will include information about myself and the books that I published. And then when I begin a new project, I'll just open that template and type in the title of the particular book I'll be working on, and then it's already formatted. I had a lot of problems in the beginning with formatting my table of contents. So I did a lot of searches on the internet, and I was able to find information that allowed me to format my table of contents, but it took some time. An easier way to do it now is I use Mark Coker's guide to formatting your book and publishing it. So if you go to smashwords.com, you will be able to find the ebook, which is free, and you can download it, and it gives you all the information that you'll need as far as creating a workable table of contents. And in addition to that, his book also talks about the types of print that you might want to use, the font size. I use Roman, New York Times Roman. I use that. And I use it because I want something that's easily legible, and your reader doesn't have to struggle with reading the words because he just wants to get, or he or she just wants to get into the story. So I try to make everything legible and clear. And then I avoid colored print when I'm typing my book, because some people may have readers where they can adjust the page color. It could be beige, it could be white, it could be off-white. And so if I use red or blue or green, it may not contrast well with the background. So I stick to using black print when I do my books. And then in addition to that, I also include a resource page in my table of contents. And what that does is it allows the reader to see the information that I used, the research information I used to create this particular story. So those are some of the things that I include in my table of content page. And as I said, you can structure it to your specific likes, depending on what you're writing and what you want to provide to your audience. So once I've created my ebook format and I've typed up my story, then I use the editing that is included in Word, a document. So I edit my story about maybe 4 or 5 times. It's been recommended by some writers to actually print out your manuscript so that you have a tangible copy in your hand, and then you can visually look at the print and you can find errors that way. I've also read my manuscript backwards, meaning I would start at the end of the story and just read line for line backwards so that the story doesn't make sense, because I'm not reading it to make sense, I'm reading it to catch errors. So I read from the back of the manuscript all the way to the front. And then because it's out of order, I'm able to see some errors that I might not have seen necessarily. So those are some of the things that I do. And in addition to that, if you create a PDF file of your manuscript, once you've completed it, it looks like an ebook formatting, and then you can read it that way. You can find errors there. So it's definitely important to look for errors when you're before you upload your final product, because it is very jarring for a reader to be engrossed in your story and then suddenly be jolted out of it because of a mistake. I would be gentle with myself as a creator, as a writer, because we can't catch every error. That's why we have editors, and that's why we have other people. But depending on your resources and how much money you can afford to invest in an editor, sometimes you may have to do it yourself. They also have something called beta readers, and beta readers is you give them you present them with your ebook in different through different vehicles, and they will read your ebook for free, and they will critique it and give you feedback. Sometimes you can have readers read your ebook and for free, and then they'll post a review depending on whether they liked it or not. So those are some ways to catch errors. So in addition to setting up the format, which I mentioned, the margins, with Amazon, they do not like tabs. So when you're typing your story, if you tab after each paragraph, it's gonna show up in your work. But when you upload it to Amazon, it's just going to be one straight block of text. It's not going to recognize the indentations. So with Smashwords formatting book, what they do is they show you how to embed a 5-inch indentation at the beginning of each paragraph, and so it's embedded into your work, and it's not a tab. So Amazon and a lot of the other places recognize that. There's a way with the ebook formatting by Mark Coker that you can embed other things into your manuscript, and then they will transfer over when you upload it to the particular website that you are selling your book or your product to. So I highly recommend, as I said, downloading the ebook formatting by Mark Coker. So once you've done that and you've completed your manuscript and you can upload it to the different platform, and then you can publish it. Another thing I like to mention, sorry, excuse me, is that when you upload your manuscript, you're going to have to create a blurb about your story. And we talked about that in the past, where you want something that is engrossing and grabs the reader right away. And then after you do that, you will have to create keywords or search words so that people can find your manuscript or your novel. So I would do a lot of research and look at other writers and see what keywords they use to find their book when they hit a search engine. And if you're not familiar with keywords, let's say I'm writing a book about human trafficking, and actually I did. It's called Cargo. So with cargo, my search words would be human trafficking, it would be slavery, it would be abduction. Those are some of the key words that you could find, or suspense, or interracial suspense, depending on what your story is. So keywords will definitely help readers find your material. So I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's been insightful. As always, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and enjoy your day. And as always, love, peace, joy, happiness. Bye-bye.